Risk of Rain. I've only played Risk of Rain for a couple hours, but those hours were pretty fun. I played it with my cousins, so it has multiplayer, and it's a roguelike, so there's quite a bit of replay value here. I thought it was a very fun game, so when I heard that Risk of Rain 2 was in early access, I was pretty excited, so I bought the game, and here is my review of it. Keep in mind that Risk of Rain 2 is currently in early access, so what you're seeing probably isn't what the full game looks like, but I just wanted to get this video out to share my impressions of the game as it is right now. So first off, let's talk about the main menu. My favorite feature in the main menu, by far, is probably the item viewer, where you can see all the items that you've unlocked, and you can also view descriptions of them and their 3D models, so it's pretty neat to do. You can also see the characters themselves. I only have one unlocked so far because I haven't had time to unlock more characters, but there's just a lot of information here and there's going to be more added in the future, so I think that this is a really nice addition to the main menu. Another feature that I really enjoy are the amount of options you have. You have ability to change controller bindings, you can change your keyboard and mouse bindings, and you just have a bunch of general options. But by far, the graphics options are amazing. You have so many options. You can even make the graphics 1/128th the resolution they were originally meant to be. And I think that's amazing because now you can run it on lower end hardware. For example, my laptop. While my desktop obviously doesn't have any problems running this game, my laptop does. And it's a pretty old laptop from 2012, I believe, and it just runs the game in 60 FPS, but I had to edit the graphics, make them worse, but the amount of flexibility that I had to work with was, honestly, in my opinion, one of the most amazing things about this game. So let's move on to the game itself. I think it's pretty much exactly as it was. You use skills and stuff, except now it's a lot more comfortable to use because of the new keybinds, or default keybinds I should say. And yeah, it's pretty nice to move around, aiming is responsive and stuff like that. However, the biggest con to the gameplay is how open it is. In the original game, the maps were pretty small until the later levels, or at least the beginning levels are very small, so you could easily traverse them and memorize where everything is. But in 3D and with these expansive worlds, it's very hard to figure out where you're going, and since the difficulty only increases with how long you take, it just makes the game a lot harder than it should be. Although, to be fair, this is still day one, and there's still much that I don't know about. Another con that I have within the game is the visuals, actually. I think most of it looks fine. You can turn the graphics to maximum and it looks fine. However, beyond where the island that you're on, it's just a bunch of gray. There's just a lot of gray space that doesn't have anything on it. I feel like this could be used for more interesting environmental structures to just look at. It doesn't have to be, playable, but I feel like if there was something that filled the background other than just gray fog, it would look a lot better and look more visually interesting. Something else that I wish the game had was some kind of map, because that would mitigate a lot of the troubles that I'm having with navigating the world, because it's just too hard to figure out where I'm going, and there's no way to have a map as far as I know, and that just really makes the game a lot harder than it should be. So for beginners, for example, it would be a lot more difficult, and I feel like that isn't what it should be. Unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to test multiplayer yet, but I did notice the absence of local multiplayer, so that means you can't just, plug in another controller and have your friend join you. You both have to have a copy of the game and separate computers. I think this is slightly a step back. I could see why this wouldn't work as easily, but the original Risk of Rain, you could, have a buddy join in right next to you without having to, buy anything else. You just kind of had a console and controllers and boom, you could play. However, there's no local multiplayer in Risk of Rain 2. Hopefully, there's something that we can figure out with that. But until time being, there is no option for local multiplayer. And so this concludes my opinion of Risk of Rain 2's early access. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments and give me suggestions of games I should look at. Alright, thank you for watching.